And good morning. All right. I know I'm sorry it's so dark in here because it's early in the morning when I'm recording it. So if I turn all the lights on, my kids will wake up. We can't have that. So anyway, let's go ahead and do lesson 9. This is a real short lesson anyway. This is actually the last lesson before the chapter review because tomorrow you're going to take the chapter review. Pardon me. All right. So let's look at pages 17 and 18 in your book. And you're going to be doing page 18, of course, by yourself. That's your independent page. This is really easy. We were talking about this, I think, last week with prepositional phrases. We practiced with finding the prepositions and then with finding the OP, or the object of the preposition. Remember? Remember we said that prepositional phrases, they are prepositions. Remember those? There's all these words. There's a list of them over on page 13 at the top. And that's not all of them. That's just a list of common prepositions that we use. So you'll need to memorize those, but probably you'll just learn how to find them. You won't really have them memorized, like you couldn't sit down and write them down, but you would know them if you saw them. But anyway, so a prepositional phrase consists of this. It starts with the preposition and it ends with the OP. And remember, the OP, or the object of the preposition, is either a noun or pronoun. Now, once you catch the hang of it, it's real easy to find prepositional phrases. So let's just look at the guided practice right quick. You see number 1? It says to put parentheses, because we always put parentheses around prepositional phrases. Now, it says here that 2 sentences have 2 prepositional phrases, but the rest of them just have 1. So let's look at number 1. Moisture is trapped inside the hard kernel. Do you know what the preposition is in that sentence? Inside. So what's the OP, or the object of the preposition? Remember, the object is what it's talking about. So the object of the preposition, so inside and kernel would be your OP. So your prepositional phrase would be inside the hard kernel. So let me write that down for you just to make sure you know how to do it. I should have already had this done and I didn't. Moisture is trapped inside the hard kernel. Okay, and so your job would be to do this. Okay, like I said, there's one sentence here that's going to have 2 of them. A sentence can be made up of tons of prepositional phrases. There's not any certain number that has to be in a sentence. This one just has 1. Let's look at number 2. After the harvest, popcorn is best stored on the cob. Now, if you need help finding prepositions, look back at that list on page 13. Those are common prepositions. Do you see 1 or 2 or more in that sentence? How about after the harvest? That's a prepositional phrase. After is a preposition and harvest is the object. Because remember, you say after who or what. Because remember, the answer to that is the OP, the object of the preposition, what it's talking about. After what? After harvest. So after the harvest is 1. Let's see if there's another one. Did you get on the cob? Because on is a preposition. On the cob. All right, number 3. The popcorn kernels are taken off the cob and put into a package. There's 2 in that one. How about off the cob into a package? Those are prepositional phrases. Remember, look back at that list if you need to. A good thing to do is to look at that list on page 13 and read it out loud. Just say the words out loud, and that might help you remember those words, okay? All right, let's look at number 4. Popcorn is sorted by color. By color is the prepositional phrase. Number 5. Popcorn packages are best stored inside a cabinet. How about inside a cabinet? That's your prepositional phrase. Number 6. Popcorn lasts around 18 months. around 18 months is your prepositional phrase. Number 7, when cooking, the moisture turns into steam. Into steam, because into is a preposition. Remember, a prepositional phrase must start with a preposition, and it ends with a noun or a pronoun. And number 8, the pressure of the steam makes it pop. Of the steam. Did you get that? All right. Prepositional phrases are really easy once you get the hang of them. So we'll just keep practicing, okay? All right, on number 9, it says for you to add a prepositional phrase to expand the sentence. So here's your sentence. The popcorn popped. That is a sentence. It's kind of boring, isn't it? Okay, how about the popcorn popped into my bowl? Or the popcorn popped in the hot pan. Something like that. Okay? All right, so you can finish it however you want to finish that sentence. Just make sure it starts with a preposition. All right, so your assignment is to do the same exact thing on page 18. Make sure that you do the apply and write to, okay? All right, and that is all for today.